Welcome back to Bunters Yard. Today we are cleaning airbrushes, and this is a request by a few of the subscribers. Thanks very much for interacting and asking for me to do this. Now, I'm not an airbrush expert by any stretch of the imagination. This is just a demonstration of what I do in between colours during the day, and also at the end of the day when we're packing down. I'm sure there are other ways to do these things, and there are lots of videos on YouTube. But again, this is just my process, and this has worked well for me. Now, today we are cleaning the brushes from acrylic paints. So these are water-based paints. So I popped in a little bit of Model Air, which is an acrylic water-based paint. It's already pre-thinned. Now, you normally wouldn't have a lot of paint in your airbrush anyway, so don't use too much. You really don't need to fill the cap up, especially if you're using like the vallejo ones that come in the droppers. You're going to struggle to get your paint back out of there and back into the dropper. So just use as much as you need. So there you can see just a little tiny drop in there. We need to get out what we've got left in the brush. So just use clean water and the eyedropper or the pipette, and hopefully you can see we'll just sort of zhuzh that in and out, and that will dilute the paint down. And we're going to pop it into here now. Just quick to show you how I made this. You can buy these already made lovely ones from Vallejo and Iwater and everything, but it's at the end of the day it's just a cloth in a pot, and that's all we're going to do. At the end of the week I can just throw the pot or the paper away. So the clean water will zhuzh around in there to dilute the paint down, and drop it into our little pot. We do that as many times as we need to until it's pretty clear, so clear as we want it to be. If you're in between colours, you don't have to be too fussy about this step, especially if you're going from a light to a dark colour. But you need to clean out as much as you can, really. The more you get, then the better. And you can see after a couple of goes, let's just move that across, you can see it's coming out pretty clear. So it really didn't take more than a minute or two. If you've got any paint around the top of the cup, just wipe that out with your paper cloth. And that's it, we're good for the next colour. Now the end of the day will be a little bit different, because what you need to do is to just drop some airbrush cleaner or airbrush thinners even into there. We'll just give that a little back blast. So if we hold a finger over the nozzle and give us a little bit, that loosen anything that might be stuck in the nozzle. And ideally, once you've done that, you want to tip it out rather than blow it through the nozzle. Otherwise, anything that you've removed will just go back down the nozzle. And we can do that a couple of times if we choose to. And that's all you need to do for the end of the day. The last thing you probably want to do is just remove the nozzle. It depends on your airbrush, it may be slightly different, but around the where the needle comes out, you can see there's going to be a build up of paint. Now you may want to clear this during the day, but generally speaking, once the day is fine. And also in there, there'll be a little bit, and I'll just use that with airbrush cleaner again, and just a cotton bud, and we just pop it in there, twist it around a couple of times, and it will come off. And because this is chrome plated, the paint doesn't stick to it too well, so it's quite easy to clean off. You just need to carefully reassemble that. Now your needle at this point is exposed, so just be careful how you put it on. They do bend, or they can bend very easily. They're very tiny at the end, as you know. So that's that bit done. Now just a couple of other things. If you get if you want a sort of deeper clean, or if you get any blockages or you feel it's a little bit lumpy, you can easily clean the needle off. Now your brush will be different to take apart than this one perhaps, but the basic principle is going to be the same. So there's the catch on the end, we undo that, and then we can pull the brush, the needle through. And you can generally feel if there's any paint on there, just run your finger along. But to give it a clean, use your thinners or your airbrush cleaner again, and just with a cloth, just away from the point, because that hurts if it goes down your fingernail. From experience, I know. So there's the nozzle there, the jet, and you normally get a little tool with your little spanner or wrench to take that off. And these are brass, and they're going to be very sort of soft, so just be careful with putting them on and taking them off, because they can deform very easily. So just be careful with the tool and over tightening. So with the needle back in, you can just sort of push in and out like that with a little bit of airbrush cleaner, and that may remove or loosen anything that's a bit more stubborn in there. We'll pop the nozzle back on. And just give that a little nip up, really not too tight, otherwise like I say, you can distort that quite easily. Just be careful. And then when you're doing that nut at the top, don't push the needle too far in, too hard in, otherwise again you can damage your the nozzle by sort of distorting, by flaring it at the end. So let's just plug it all back in together. Bit of air back on, put the compressor back on, and then that's it. We'll clear out any cleaner that's left in there, and we're good to go.